In this first video, we're going to cover how to create the actual GDMS account, how to create your first network, how to add devices. We're going to show you both manually and using the GWN app, and then we're going to set up our default LAN and our default Wi-Fi. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Every once in a while, a viewer request will come in that's too good to pass up. One of my regular viewers recently asked, would I be willing to set up a full Grandstream stack in the cloud? So I will do this using GDMS networking. And instead of creating like one long video, I'm going to break it up into a 3-part series, covering it step by step. So if you think this series is for you, then stick around. Let's get started. But first, this video is sponsored by TerraMaster, and right now is the perfect time to upgrade your storage with their 2026 Big Sale event running March 25th through March 31st. If you're looking for a powerful all-in-one NAS, check out the TerraMaster F4 425+. It's powered by an Intel N150 quad-core processor with speeds up to 3.6 GHz, paired with 16 GB of DDR5 memory, so it's more than capable of handling demanding workloads. You get 4 SATA drive bays plus 3 M.2 slots for ultra-fast caching, along with dual 2.5 gig ports that can be bonded for up to 10 gig networking performance. It also features local AI capabilities like facial recognition, 4K hardware video decoding, and full support for media platforms like Plex, Emby, and Jellyfin, perfect for a Homelab media server. On top of that, it runs TerraMaster OS, supports Docker, and includes a full business backup suite with Cloud Sync for services like Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox. So whether you're building a Homelab, media server, or backup solution, the F4 425+ has you covered. Check out the link in the description for a 15% discount during this limited time sale. All right, so the first step is to open up a browser and point your browser to gdms.cloud. I'll put the address along the bottom on the screen. You're brought to the sign in page. If you don't have an account, you're going to click on the sign up link, and then you're going to create your account here. You're just going to fill in all of this information. Now, one of the requirements is to have an actual Grandstream device to verify. So it's going to ask for the MAC address and the password, which is found on the label on the back of every Grandstream device. All right, so I have all the information filled in. A couple of things though. Under the user field, you're going to select personal user, and under the world field, you're going to have 3 choices: world, Europe, or China. Most likely click on world. And then finally, the last step before clicking sign up is to check I have read the agreement. So you're going to have to scroll down and acknowledge twice. And then you'll be ready to go ahead and click sign up. Once you click sign up, you get the confirmation message. Thank you for signing up a GDMS account. After the support staff evaluates and approves the registration, an activation email will be sent. Please be patient and check your email regularly. The activation email does arrive pretty quickly. In fact, let's take a look at what it looks like. So you can see here in my Gmail account, welcome to GDMS, your username. Please activate the account by clicking the button below, and it's valid for 5 days. So let's activate now. And it's asking us to create a password. So I'm just going to have a password fill in from my password manager, and I'm going to click submit. Okay, let's go ahead and sign in. And you're greeted with a quick overview tour. You can see it says GDMS Networking. If you click next, it says provide secure remote communication services. Let's click on next. Here it says the service area for data storage can be selected based on the location of the device, which we've already done that in the setup process. Supports remote management via the mobile app under the user menu. Let's click OK. And here you can see the changes and enhancements. We're just going to click OK to this message. So it appears to have brought us into GDMS Unified Communication. So we're just going to click on the top here because we want to work in GDMS networking. Click Enter. Acknowledge the changes. All right, before we get to creating a network and adding our devices, I want to just give you a quick walkthrough of the web interface. When you create your GDMS account, it creates a default network. You can see that here in the upper left-hand corner. If I click on default network, there's a check mark next to it. You can also add additional networks, and we're going to show you that later on in the video. Another thing to note, the user that you created when you created the account is your super administrator. That's your super admin user. Just note that. Okay, here's a look at the dashboard page. Any devices that get added to GDMS will appear here in the list. We're going to show you how to add them not only manually through the interface, but using the GWN mobile app as well. Any clients connected to the network will appear here. Your guests have different statuses, like you can see whether they're online or not, and if they're using a voucher. Then here you have your maps and floor plans. Under Insight, there's a site survey option. You also have your network topology options. Here you have alerts. Under settings though, now you need to pay attention to this here. Here's where you're going to set up your Wi-Fi, and you'll note by default it created a default Wi-Fi, and we'll talk about that later in the video. Under LAN, we're going to talk about this as well later in the video. Internet, VPN, you got your traffic management. Here's where you create your firewalls and take care of security. You can create profiles. Under system, you have all your general information like your country, region, time zone, etc. And then under organization, you have your overview, and it shows you how many networks you have, and you can manage. If you have multiple networks, you can manage them here. You can actually list all of your Grandstream devices under the inventory tab. Now, if you're a reseller, which most home users are probably not, you can actually link up GDMS networking with your reseller account so that anything you purchase can be listed automatically here from your reseller. You could set up additional users. You have your upgrade page where you can upgrade your device's firmware. Then you have reports, change logs, and then you have your global settings here. Now, another thing I want to show you is under the user, there are two things that I want to point out. Under your user settings, here's where you can set up multi-factor authentication. And then also under the user account, if you go to the About tab, it's pretty cool here. Under supported models and firmware, you can see here are all the APs supported by GDMS networking. Here are all the routers that are supported, and here's a list of all the network switches that are supported. So next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add our first network and add our devices. Stay tuned. All right, so now it's time to create our very own first network. And there's a couple different ways we could achieve this. The simplest way would be to come up to where it says default network and then click on add network. Alternatively, you can come over to the organization in the left menu and click on overview, click on network management, and then click on the plus sign. Both options will take you to the same place: overview, network management, add network. So let's complete the page. For organization, we're going to leave it set to default. For the network name, this specifies the name of the network. Now you can call this whatever best suits you. I'm going to call it YouTube Demo. You would select your country and region. United States works for me. Time zone, Eastern works for me. There's the administrator information. Now, clone network, if you had existing networks, you can actually make an exact duplicate and start from there. And now under default network, you can take this brand new network and make it the default network. Now, what does that mean? Well, that simply means that when you sign into GDMS networking, this network or this whatever network you specify as the default will be the one that's automatically selected. And the default network, note this, it cannot be deleted. So a couple of things to keep in mind when making that decision. Okay, now let's go back. Here we are. Once enabled, the original default network will lose its default state. We're okay with that. And as far as tags, that's an easy way of just searching out a network if you had multiple networks. But I'm going to leave it blank for now. Let's go ahead and say save. And now if we come up under default network, we can select our YouTube demo, and now we can begin. The next step would be to add our devices. Okay, if you made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you. You're doing great. Let me know down in the comments what you think so far of the GDMS networking interface. It's time to add our devices, and the 3 devices I'm going to add to GDMS, the first one is a GCC6010. That's going to be the router, a GWN7665 access point, and the GWN7811P. all devices have been factory reset back to their default. So this is exactly how it should work for you coming right out of the box. The first one I'm going to add, we're going to do a manual add using the GDMS networking interface, and we'll use the 7811P switch for that. So to get started, let's switch over to the desktop. Let's come down to the devices tab, and we're going to click on add device. Now we're going to select manual, and then we're going to give this a name. Now you can call this whatever you'd like here. I'm just going to call it GWN7811P. We need to know the MAC address and the initial password. So I'm going to paste in the MAC address. Let me paste in the password. Now remember, all this information can be found on the bottom of every device. And then we're going to leave it set to the default group, and we could put in remarks here if we'd like. Let's go ahead and click add. And you can see we have the device added under the device list. And it's got a green dot, which means it's been added successfully and it is online. All right, so the next step is to use the GWN mobile app to scan in the last two devices. I'm going to scan the GCC6010 and the GWN7665. Let me switch over to my phone. I already have the GWN app downloaded and installed on my phone. It's available not only for iOS, but for Android as well. So I'm signed in. At the very top of the screen, you see it says YouTube demo from the drop down. I have YouTube demo selected. If I go across the bottom where it says dashboard, devices, clients, alerts, and settings, if I click on devices, there you could already see that the GWN7811P switch that we added manually is already in the app. So I'm going to turn over the Grandstream GCC6010 on my phone. I'm going to hit the plus sign at the bottom. You can see a scanning window comes up. As soon as I scan the barcodes, it brings up the next screen to give the device a name. So I'm going to call it GCC6010. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to say done and done again. And then here we're asked a couple of questions. Automatically synchronize the local WAN of the router to GDMS networking. The synchronization will begin after the device is online. That's fine. And then here, assign the SSID in this network to the newly added router. And we don't have to do that. I'm going to disable that. I'm going to say OK. And then you could see there it says device added successfully. And now there are two devices under the device page. We're going to do the same thing again for the access point. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the plus sign. We get the scanning window, flipping over to the GWN7665. We'll scan it. We'll try that one more time. There we go. We're going to give it a name, and again, I'll just call it GWN7665, and go ahead and say done, and done. And there you can see we have all our devices added. All right, so we're looking at the devices now. You can see all three in the devices tab. The 7811P was added through this interface, and the GCC6010 and the 7665 were added through the GWN mobile app. Now we're ready to go ahead and set up our LAN. So if we come over to settings and we come down to LAN, we're going to come over to the default LAN. We're going to click on the cog to get into the edit mode. And we're going to select the gateway, which is required. So there is our GCC6010. We're going to select our gateway, and then we're going to define our gateway IP address. So 192.168.75.1 I'll use for this demonstration. Now again, you could use any of the private network ranges. We're going to make this a /24 network. We do want DHCP service. And I'm just going to make the range, for simplicity's sake, .2 through .254. If I were really doing this in production, I would set aside some addresses as static addresses in the beginning of the range and at the end of the range. But for this, I'm going to just use the whole /24 range. For DNS, I'm going to put in the router's address as the preferred, and then we'll use 1.1.1.1 for the secondary or alternate. And we're going to go ahead now and we're going to go ahead and say save. Now that we have our LAN defined, I just want to quickly click on internet and show you that it did pick up the internet connection plugged into port 5, the physical port 5 on the GCC. Now this is just being double natted off of my regular network switch, but if this were literally connected to the internet, you would see that here. Okay, so we have our LAN settings set. Okay, so we're back on the devices page, and you can see that the switch and the access point have taken on the address in the new network range in the 192.168.75 range, and same thing for the access point. Oddly enough, the GCC6010 is still showing an address of 80.1. However, I did sign into the GCC6010 locally, and you could see that the LAN address is in fact 75.1. So I think it's just taken GDMS a little bit of a time to update the information. That said, let's click over to the desktop now and let's go over into the settings and we'll get our Wi-Fi set up now. So if we go to settings and click on Wi-Fi, you could see there's the built-in Wi-Fi that came by default when you created the account. Now you can go ahead and delete that, or you can just modify it, or you can just leave it and add your own. For now, we're just going to go ahead and modify it by clicking on the cog. And we'll go ahead and we'll just change the name from GWN Cloud to YouTube Demo. So we want to leave the client IP assignment sent as bridge, so it allows the clients to get an IP address from the router. We're not going to associate it with a VLAN. The SSID band, I'm going to leave it set to all bands since the GWN7665 does have the 6 gigahertz band, but you would set yours accordingly here depending on your device. We'll leave MLO disabled for now. Under access security, I'm going to set it to WPA2, WPA3. You have different options under personal, enterprise, PPSK, but we're just going to leave it set to personal for now. And then under device assignment, you could see that it's adding this Wi-Fi to the GWN7665. So with that, we're going to go ahead and say save. And now you can see we have updated our Wi-Fi to YouTube Demo. To add additional Wi-Fis, which we'll cover in another video, you just come up to the add button here. And I just switched back to the devices page, and now you can see the GCC6010 finally updated in GDMS Networking 192.168.75.1. Okay, so this concludes the first video in a 3-part series on how to create a full Grandstream stack using GDMS networking. To summarize, I showed you how to create the GDMS account, how to add a network, how to add devices both manually and using the mobile app. We set the LAN and we set the first Wi-Fi. In the next video, we're going to add an IoT VLAN and an IoT Wi-Fi. So if you liked the video and you found any value out of it, please click the thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this, and let me know down in the comments, what do you think of GDMS networking so far and setting up the full stack in the cloud? Is this something you would do? Again, let me know down below. If you'd like to see more content like this, please click the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and look forward for part 2 and part 3 coming soon.